You are listening to a Called Collective podcast where we seek to equip the next generation of ministry leaders. The Called Collective produces multiple podcasts, which you can find in the description below. To learn more about the Called Collective, visit our website at thecalledcollective.org or check us out on Instagram at The Called Collective.
Hi, and welcome to Coffee and Calling. We're back from Christmas break, about time.
Yeah.
I am your host, Levi Tidwell, and I'm with my co-host,
Paula Rye, and I'm so excited to be back with you guys. And I do formally apologize for the break that we took. It was just like,
I don't apologize for anything.
so Levi struggles with pride. He struggles to admit his faults, but it's okay. And today we have a special guest with us. Special as always.
Always special.
Always special. And her name is Aubrey
That's me.
Hurlbert.
Hurlbert.
Did I say it right?
You did.
Yes.
Okay. Aubrey's awesome. Aubrey, will you tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do for work, who you are, where you're from, what's your major,
Tell us all the deeds.
all
Yeah.
the basic stuff that everyone deserves to know about you.
Sure. So, yeah, I'm Aubrey. I'm a senior youth ministry major. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. What I do for work, I'm not actually paid to do anything right now. I'm just, living it up here
Love that.
here in the Marion.
Nice. Unemployed.
Yeah. Tough.
Student.
You're a
I'm
student.
a full-time student.
That's
what I
right.
do. Yeah.
Scholar. Some would say scholar.
Yeah.
Mm.
Some might. Not me. Yeah. About myself.
Yeah, where'd you grow up?
Yeah. Cleveland, Ohio is hometown. Well, my hometown is this small town called North Royalton.
North
I was
Royalton.
I was a runner in high school, but I don't run anymore because, the Lord saved me.
The Lord saved you from running.
No.
Amen. Won't he
Amen.
do it?
Come on.
Won't he do it?
I've seen what you've done for
Come on.
others.
Yeah,
Can you do it for
he
me?
can do it for you too, Levi.
Wow.
Yeah. Other than that, that's about it.
Okay.
For the guests to know you more, would you be willing to participate in a game of two truths and a lie?
Sure.
Go for it.
Okay.
All the
So,
time you need to
Yeah,
think of some good ones.
I have a couple off the top of my
Oh,
head.
perfect.
That's quick.
But
Way to go.
well, yeah. So I worked at a camp since I was 12.
Okay.
I worked for an accused mob boss.
Wow.
Okay.
And I worked as a lifeguard.
Okay.
So
Oof. An accused mafia boss.
not mafia, mob. So like there's
Mob.
yes,
There's a
there's like
difference.
the Russian mob and then the
And then the Italian mafia.
yes. So they're
What?
different.
Okay. He was just accused
Yeah.
of being in the mob.
Yeah.
Who accused him?
The state.
Oh,
The
okay. That's more serious.
state.
Okay. I was like, what? Did you accuse him of being that?
Yeah.
No, fair.
Yeah.
Okay. That's too specific
Yes.
to make a lie.
That has
So
to
I
be
don't
the
think
truth.
you I don't think you were a lifeguard.
I think that's a lie as well.
Yeah, it is the lie.
It
which
is the
which is
lie.
crazy.
That is wild.
Yeah.
What job was it? Wait, are you gonna like?
Is he gonna
get
come after you
murdered if
after this
you-
podcast?
Yeah.
If
Well,
you
so he was never actually like convicted. So like he was accused. It went to trial, but then he never actually like went to jail for it.
Oh,
Like they never found him to actually be guilty. So it could be that he wasn't. But yeah, it was just this like family entertainment center. We had like a ball pit and like just a bunch of stuff. I just took food to families, That was literally my whole job.
wow.
But yeah, it was quite the time. There was some activity, that's
Wow.
for sure.
Those were some great ones.
that
That was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a really good one.
I was trying to come up with a lie,
Those are the only truth, easy money.
Sure.
The lie is tough.
Because you're like,
Yeah.
I want to brag about my crazy experiences.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Because why not?
For sure. sure.
That's awesome.
So we have a fun game that we like to play with our guests, making it up. So If you had to choose an Old Testament character
Okay.
to marry,
All right.
who are you choosing?
Oh man.
Because all of them are a little messed up.
Yeah.
That's so
for
true.
real. I don't know. I think if I had to marry one, I would marry. I don't know. I always had a crush on Boaz, like ever since I was a
Okay.
little girl.
All
Isn't he
right.
like 100 years old?
Yeah.
He is old.
But honestly,
And he's got money, though.
yeah.
Okay, Boaz. Okay, Aubrey.
Oh man.
All right.
She
Oh,
likes the
man.
money. Okay, girl.
No. But he was just so kind.
He's
That's-
kind.
That's what I
He's a
liked.
kind man.
His character.
See,
Yeah.
yeah. When I was little, I didn't know that he was old or that he was rich.
Yeah.
I
That's
just knew he was
okay.
nice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, just rub his feet and you're in. That's what I learned
Eh?
from the story.
I had a huge crush on Samson growing up.
Oh.
Alright.
Huge crush.
Why?
Strong, long
Like,
hair,
Yes, I think he was
California man.
like, what?
Wait, I might have read that into the text.
Yeah, I think you might have.
the ice of Jesus work, I
No.
see you.
I just thought he was so cute.
Yeah.
And it's probably because,
You do your picture Bible?
yeah.
Okay.
With the wild flowing
I
hair.
just loved him. I was like,
Yes.
yes.
So
Oh,
fair.
man.
All right, well, enough of that foolishness.
A lot of foolishness.
You said your major was youth ministry.
Yeah.
Can you dive into that? How you decided you wanted to do youth ministry, your call to ministry, maybe even like your call to Jesus, like how you became a Christian,
Yeah.
all those sorts of things.
So that's gonna be a long story.
That's
Sarah.
okay.
Buckle up. But yeah, I was raised in a pastor's house, so I mean, always around Jesus since like day one. But I knew how to like check the boxes really well. I accepted Christ when I was 4. We were going to Wednesday night church, but it was one of those things that I like just did because my friends were doing it, and, whatever. And then ended up living this whole life. I was homeschooled too, so it also helps that like, all of our school was about like God, and our curriculum had to do with the Bible, and so I knew a lot. But it was just one of those things that I never actually like claimed it for my own.
Mhm.
And so eventually I got into sports. So I was playing basketball and running track, but I was still homeschooled. And then my mom took a full-time job, so she wasn't at home to like teach us and stuff anymore. And so I decided to transfer to our public high school in our town. And because I went and I was like, I'm only going to do this, God, like if you go with me. And before this, I had been kind of sensing like a call to ministry. And there was this conversation that I had with a pastor. I was 8 years old, and I had approached my parents to see if we could go home soon because we were at this church event and we were there forever. And I was like, we got to go. And this pastor looked me in the eye as soon as I was like, Mom, Dad, like, can we go home soon? He just said, young lady, you have great authority in your voice. And I was like, what are you talking about?
Wow.
And since that moment, I kind of sensed this call to ministry, like the Lord was going to
Wow.
do crazy things. So, but I put it on the back burner. I was like, whatever. So going to school, I was like, God, this is like my mission field. This is it. But I'm only going to go if you go with me. And I got there and I couldn't find him anywhere. And it was the loneliest time of my life. And the summer before that, I lost one of my basketball teammates to suicide. And
Wow.
my boyfriend at the time was a wreck. And I was just super lonely. And so I remember being like, God, we made a deal that you were going to come to school with me, and you're not here. So you let me down, and forget this call to ministry. I don't want to be a part of that.
Wow.
Because I don't want to go to ministry if you're not with me either, So I was like, you know what? I don't actually want anything to do with this. So I decided I was going to be a math teacher. I actually hate math. So I don't know why I wanted to do that.
Good choice.
But yeah. But there was this worships night that I was at, and I was just really broken. And I knew that God had a calling on my life, and I had been just like willingly neglecting it. And so I was like running away as fast as I could. And I was at this worship service with my family, and the Lord like just met me. And there was this moment. It was like, if you've been running from the Lord and you want to come back, you can write your name on this cross on the stage. And I didn't even know I was necessarily running from the Lord. I just thought I was running from my call until my feet started moving without me like necessarily making them. And I was like, oh, like, I guess I'm coming back. And that same pastor that spoke those words over me when I was 8 years old was at the altar, and I gave him this big hug. And it was just this whole big circle moment. And I got back to my seat, and I was kind of having this conversation with the Lord, like, okay, so all this stuff happened and there was a lot of brokenness, and I don't actually want to do this anymore. So like, what are you going to do with it? Because I have to know that this is going to be worth it. And he was just like, all of the brokenness that you've experienced, like, I will redeem and I will use for good purposes. And since that moment, it's just been God like leading me into places where I have been able to like witness to young people who are going through really hard things. Like, yeah, I've been there too. Yeah, I've lost a friend. Yeah, I've had crappy boyfriends. Yeah, I've been really alone. And so just like kind of experiencing that and being able to walk into spaces. So it was never God being like, you're going to go into youth ministry. It was just a bunch of small moments and a lot of little spaces of God being like, yeah, this is how I'm going to use this. And people speaking into my life. And even recently, I mean, I've been in this season where I look at ministry and I'm like, wow, the last thing that I want to do is that. Like, I don't want to go. And like, even like a month ago, I was writing in my journal and I was like, God, I don't want to do this. And like, what are you doing? You're calling me to ministry. And literally the line was, I thought you loved me. And I was like, oh man. Not 2 days later, I was just standing outside by the prayer chapel outside. And there was this lady that came up to me, and we had been kind of in some prayer circles together. And she's like, hey, I've been meaning to talk to you. And she like asked me like a couple small talk questions. And she said, but I want you to know you have a lot of authority in your voice. And I think God's going to do great things.
Whoa.
And it was almost word for word what that pastor, 8 years old, Aubrey, heard, you know, like that same conversation. And so now like coming out of that conversation, I mean, it's just like, even now God is affirming my call, and God is calling me into deeper things. And even when I don't want to do it, God is still being really faithful. So yeah, that's kind of how I'm here. But
You might not have an answer to this question, but what do you think authority means? You have no idea.
I don't know.
That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
There's some beautiful mystery in that.
Yeah. I've been walking through those kinds of conversations with some mentors of mine, and they're like, you know, like spiritual authority is something that God grants to people as a gift to them. And so like the unknown is still kind of something that I'm sitting with, but also like, I think there is something different when you sit there and you hear someone with authority speak, like Dr. Shigley. He has authority. And I think like people can hear it on his voice. And I'm not saying I have the same kind of authority as Shigley. That's crazy. But like, I don't know exactly how that's going to work out, but that's what they said. So,
Wow.
How do you like reconcile with that, like not knowing what exactly it is that the Lord is obviously speaking over your life, and like wanting to know what it is, but not knowing how it's like going to play out? Like, how do you just kind of like reconcile that right now? Because it's hard to like know something is spoken over your life, but be so unsure, like, what does it mean? And like to have to sit with that for so many years. Like, it's been like 12 years.
Yeah. I don't know. I think for me right now, it's just been taking on this place of like allowing there to be question marks is something that's really hard.
Wow.
But I think especially in faith, there are a lot of question marks, and to have like total answers and like all of your statements end in periods all the time, like that can be dangerous. So I think that's part of it. And I've had people that have spoken into the fact like, yeah, there are going to be unknowns in life and in faith and in your call, and that's okay. And just keep walking and taking the next step. But in terms of like the practical stuff, I don't know. I have no idea. It's just kind of a day by day, like trying to be obedient, even when there are big question marks.
So for the listeners who are either struggling with a call, wrestling with a call into ministry, what would your advice be to those people on the fence,
Mhm.
and then also to the people who have committed but might be struggling with their commitment, and maybe there's doubts or something like that? What would your advice be?
Yeah. Um, I just want to preface by saying I would love to answer, like, I would love to make all of the questions go away. And I would love to make it feel safer. And I would love to, like, make it feel like something that isn't a loss and isn't a sacrifice. But I know I can't do that. And just kind of recognizing that and acknowledging it before I, like, try and speak. But I would definitely say lean into the support systems in the community that's already in place. I know when I started sensing that call to ministry, I was like, I have to retreat and, like, find out what the will of the Lord is and whatever. And I pulled myself out of these places of community and these support systems that I had in place. So if I could give a piece of advice, it would be like, talk to your pastors, talk to your mentors, talk to your leaders, and have conversations like, I'm really struggling with this, and allow yourself to process questions and not try and, like, bottle them up or hold them, because questions will always be a name of the game. Like, that's just kind of how it goes. So, yeah, especially for people trying to discern a call for ministry. And honestly, yeah, people who are even, yeah, they've committed and they're sitting in a season of doubt, or in just a not wanting to, because I've been there. That sucks. So, I don't know. Yeah, definitely lean into community and lean into pastors and leaders that care about you, because there are plenty who have already spoken into their life. And yeah.
I like what you said about how it's a sacrifice and a loss. And I remember being at that point too of, like, feeling like I committed myself to being in, like, vocational ministry, and I feel like I have lost everything that I wanted.
Mhm.
And I remember those moments of being like, Lord, I've lost, like, everything that I have wanted, like everything that I thought I needed, everything that like every way I wanted my life to go, I've
Yeah.
lost it. And then I remember, like, that season, but then coming into the next season of being like, but I've gained Christ. But I've
Mm.
gained
Yeah.
this, like,
Yeah.
I've gained this um just, like, gift of, and this special, like, gift from the Lord of, like, I'm called into ministry. And I just remember that sweet season of being like, realizing I've lost everything, but I've gained Christ.
Yes.
And now I look back on my life and, like, I do remember those losses and the stuff, but all I can really think about is how much I've gained because of my call to ministry. Like, I would never have pictured the life that I have for myself right now
Yeah.
if it had gone all my way when I quotation mark lost everything.
Yeah.
And so I think, yeah, like, can you speak on that, offer some encouragement of, like, feeling like you're losing everything, but, like, you're not.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're gaining.
I was listening to, oh, I don't even remember. Someone smarter than me was talking about ministry and just the call to ministry, and talking about how like, Christians love to talk about Jesus, and pastors get to do that for a living, and they get to be paid for it. And that's really cool. And we, as people who are in ministry and people who get to, like, study the things of God and walk with people along their journey with God, you have this unique opportunity to just, like, you get to pour into people's life and invest in them and see things, like, that actually matter. Like, it's not just going to be some, like, finite goal or some, I mean, the things that you're doing aren't just a number on a spreadsheet, but they're, like, they're souls. And it's just this beautiful
Mhm.
thing of being able to walk into this meaningful communion with people. Yeah. Ministry is really beautiful, and it's a sacrifice. Like, I don't, like, but yeah, you gain so much. You're so right in terms of, like just the being able to gain the Lord, to sit there and just be able to do a work that you get to do alongside God. It's a
Yeah.
partnership with him. And so it's just so beautiful.
Yeah, it reminds me of Jesus' parable of the pearl, where this man finds a field, and he finds this treasure. It's the treasure and the pearl side by side, the parables. And he finds this field, and he gets so excited and so overjoyed that he sells his home, his possessions, to buy that field with the treasure in it. And it's interesting to kind of evaluate that parable, because all he's getting is a field and maybe like a treasure chest. That is how I'm imagining it. But he lost a home, he lost like security.
Yeah.
But to him, he found the treasure. He found the treasure that was worth giving everything up for.
Yeah.
And to the world, Christ is not worth selling everything, selling my security, selling my dreams, selling everything that I thought I would do for just a field and a treasure chest. What's up with that? So it's what I find beautiful about what you guys are saying is the value in Christ. We fear the Lord so much that he is worth selling everything for.
Yeah.
Every dream, every desire that we had, he's the treasure in the field that we can sell everything for so that we can gain Christ. I think that's beautiful. And I think that's it in terms of just like, that's just being a disciple. I wonder if we can workshop a thought really quick. What extra do we as full-time ministers of the Lord have to give up more than the average disciple? Are we just, because I don't think we're just professional Christians. We are equipping the disciples. We are equipping the saints for good work.
Yeah.
And so I just want to workshop that thought. What more do we have to give up? I don't have an answer. It's a genuine question.
Yeah.
I think of the verse, I don't know where it is, and I'm definitely going to butcher it, but it's about how, like, Jesus basically says, like, if you're a teacher of me, or, like, if you're a minister, you will be judged more harshly because of the words that you say. And it's like we are putting our heads on the line because the Lord has given us authority to shepherd his children on earth. And so we are like basically like we have to steward that well. And if we are not stewarding people well in Christ, like that is on us. And like we have that extra pressure and that extra like I don't know, that extra judgment is coming because the Lord has given us this like gift, and he's like, steward it well.
Yeah.
Because it's souls on the line, and I'm asking you to be my hands and feet, and I'm asking you to partner with me to help save these people. And of course, it's not us that save people at the end of the day,
Right.
but we will be judged according to what we teach.
Right. Yeah. I think, correct me if this is not the verse that you were thinking of. I think James 3:1, not many of you should become teachers,
Yeah.
my fellow believers, because you know that we who teach will be judged more strictly.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of.
That is sobering.
It is.
To think that I think of people in other occupations glorifying the Lord in that occupation or not. Like teachers will work 60 hours a week. Lawyers will work 80 hours a week. And they are diving deep into their profession. They're working so hard. And I think I just want to bring up a bit of a warning against softness in ministry. Because if we're going to be straight, we have more of a pressure on our calling than the average occupation. And so if a lawyer's going to study their case, man, should we be studying the case of Christ? And for the gold miners who are diving deep into the belly of the earth to just gain a wage, how much more should we be diving deep into to our culture to communicate the gospel to the people that need it?
Yeah.
And to equip the people to do the same.
Yeah.
That's good.
Because I feel like we don't think about like working that hard, at least. Like I don't think about working as hard as a lawyer or as putting in as many hours as a surgeon or somebody who like puts in an insane amount of hours into their job. I just don't think about that in my context. Like I'm not gonna put 90 hours a week
Right.
into working at a church. But like, why not?
Yeah. And I think there's our understanding of ministry. We're not really clocking in. Ministry's our life.
Right.
Mhm.
We're not clocking in and out. We are on the clock at all times, and we're blessed to do so.
Yeah.
And so we can be pastoral and we can do ministry when we're not in the church, when
Mhm.
we're at home with our kids. We're raising up missionaries for the kingdom of God.
Mhm.
And so it's a lifestyle, not necessarily a job.
Yeah. But we should view it with the same amount of seriousness.
Of course.
Like it's not just a joke. Like
Mhm.
it's not just ministry because people look at ministry and think it like, oh, it's so fun, especially like youth ministry. Like all of us are in youth ministry.
Right.
People look at it and it's like you play games for a
Oh, what a
living.
joke.
Like this is
Mm.
like why it doesn't really matter that much. But like if we viewed it the same like seriousness as like lawyers and doctors and those sorts of things, like we would want to take it more serious because it is more serious. It's about souls and we
Mhm.
would want to put in our 100% and our best effort. And yeah, I'm not sure if that was making sense, but
No, it
Yeah.
100% makes sense.
Mhm.
Aubrey, I have a question for you. It's a bit on topic. What do we do with the boundaries discussion in ministry today? To have a boundary towards our work, but also to steward this calling that we have.
yeah.
I mean that, and I know that's a loaded question.
Yeah.
But I wondered if you had any thoughts on that.
See, as youth pastors, it's almost hard to have boundaries because it's really easy to have like the savior complex, you know?
Mm.
Like these people are going through such hard things and like, high school is so hard, they need me. So I think that makes it a little extra tricky because honestly, that's not incorrect. The fact that like they do need someone.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And there are going to be people in our ministries that we like they will need to pick up the phone and call us like at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
But also one of my my youth pastor friends, I was talking to him a couple weeks ago, and he was saying how when he was at this one church, he had a lot of teens who really did just need someone to like come and be sometimes. And he said that my house it's always open, but it's not always available. So like if they need to come and they need to like just hang out or have dinner, they can call and they can come at some point, but it might be, hey, I'm putting my kids down. You can come over in an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Or, okay, I'm actually having date night with my wife, but you
Yeah,
could come
super
over
important.
tomorrow night
Right.
and we could talk about it. And it's just kind of that idea of like, my door is always open and you don't get total permission to like have all access to my life. But then also like just the whole idea of guarding your Sabbath like with your life.
Yeah.
Just because it's often the first thing to go in, I mean, culture even, but especially as pastors, I mean, we don't get Sunday, so we have to have some other weekday, but people don't take that into account. So just having that respect for your time with the Lord
Yeah.
and guarding it.
Yeah. Yeah, I've just been thinking lately, it's just simply a thought, it's not infallible, but I'm a bit tired of boundaries being a discussion as an excuse for not self-emptying.
Hmm.
Because I think if our boundaries are set up to our values, there's a margin to self-empty. But if our boundaries are for the sake of our comfort, there's no margin to self-empty.
Mm.
It's just a thought I've been having lately. But you
Yeah.
you mentioned Sabbath. I wondered what do you do on your Sabbath? What does a healthy Sabbath look like as a minister?
Yeah. I've heard it defined lately as a time to pause, to play, and to pray. Which is like kind of fire, but That was someone else that
Super cool.
Again, someone
Alliteration.
smarter than me, right?
Which
Who,
is
like,
what we're all doing here.
Right.
We're all just taking thoughts of people
Nothing-
smarter than us.
Yes.
And they're probably taking thoughts from
Yes.
God, who is smarter than everybody. So
Yes.
it's just
Yeah.
like,
nothing is new under the sun, you know. But yeah, my Sabbath, I typically take it on Saturdays. Well, sundown on Friday to sundown on Saturday.
nice.
And I sleep in, get some good rest, spend some time with the Lord, just some extra long time, longer than I have time for it, like on a normal weekday. And then I sometimes will go get coffee with a friend. If it's warm, I'll go to the park, read a book, maybe, I don't know, go on a walk, just be in nature, be with people. I love being with people. So that's kind of how I play, if you will. But just I often will zip up my backpack and put everything in there and then put it under my bed or something so I can't even see it.
Yeah.
And then I intentionally just do things that I have wanted to do all week long and I haven't been able to because I've been working. But as a pastor, that means that your sermon is that day is not a time to write your sermon, or that's not a time to go get coffee or ice cream with that youth student because you haven't had time to any other day. It's a time to be with your family. I know my dad, on his day off growing up, we would kind of pick up the house on his day off and then we would drive out to Amish country, which was an hour from us, and we would eat all the cheese that we could possibly take in, and
That's awesome.
we would eat this delicious food, and we'd walk around outside, and it was just a time to be together, a time to enjoy communion with each other. But honestly, Sabbath is so individual in terms of how you experience it, what gives you rest, true, deep, soul renewing rest, which isn't the same thing as sleep. That's something someone was Daniel Parham, our dean of students today in chapel, was saying that rest is not the same as sleep, and to get really good renewing rest, sometimes it means doing something. And so yeah, it's so individual, and it's something that all the time we have to be checking back in with, is my Sabbath actually restful, or is it something that or was restful in a season, but it's not anymore. So
yeah, the activities in Sabbath are kind of evolving.
Yeah, which was a roundabout way to not answer your question.
No,
but-
I loved it. I don't think there's a simple answer to it.
Yeah.
That was great.
That's awesome. Aubrey, we do this thing at the very end of our podcast where we like to encourage our guests. And so I would like to encourage you today just by saying that, obviously, I just want to first confirm what everyone has been saying, the experiences you had of people telling you have spiritual authority or just authority in your voice, because you definitely do. Obviously, that's not a new statement to you, but you really, really do. I think you are someone who is wise. And this whole time I've been thinking you will be a ministry powerhouse. And that's the same word that's just been coming to me this whole past 30 minutes of you really will be a ministry powerhouse. And that's not something to be taken lightly. And that's not something that I think everybody has. But I do believe that you are so wise, and your commitment to the Lord and your commitment to just what he wants for you and who he is to you is something that is very commendable. And I think that you are going to lead many, many people to Christ, and you are going to restore and redeem so many young students. And so I truly, truly believe that you'll be a ministry powerhouse, and that you do have authority in your voice, and things will change with you in the room. Yeah. Thanks,
Yeah.
Paula. Yeah.
And a couple things that stand out to me from the fruit of your life is I just think you're super smart and super mature. I think anybody that has conversation with you within 10 minutes can understand that you are very smart. You're very mature. And then also you're just super relational. I know that you care about people. You love people really well. And so may that encourage you, and maybe I'm sure you knew that, but maybe it'll hit you today a little different. So, well, thank you so much for being on our podcast. It's been wonderful having you.
Yeah. Thanks for letting me come on and talk about life.
Of course. Of course. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for our listeners who are listening in. We love you guys. You guys are the best.
Yeah. Ditto.
For sure.
For sure.
Deuces.
We'd also like to take a second to thank the School of Theology and Ministry at Indiana Wesleyan University for using their facilities. We want to thank the Call Collective for producing all of our podcasts. The Call Collective seeks to equip the next generation of ministry leaders. To find out more information, visit thecalledcollective.org or check us out on Instagram @thecalledcollective. Thanks for listening again and taking time in your day to have the chance to be formed by the conversations we have over coffee. See you guys next week.